Hello, hello, hello.
Welcome back, guys, to take 2 of our intro.
Of our episode 8
8
of Ebony and Ruth
podcast. So what's today's topic, babe?
Today's topic is going to be faith and
Finances.
ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Faith and finances.
Yeah, what's going on with your words today?
Today, I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna say sorry already. I have a tongue twister this morning because right now we're recording in the mornings, and I don't know, something is going on with my tongue, and I
Yeah.
cannot articulate myself properly.
You haven't
I
had your
wanted.
coffee today, so yeah, that could be it.
That's definitely
Yeah.
it.
So
It's a heated topic
I mean, it could be.
in Christianity.
Yeah, it could
Most
be.
of the time.
It's either faith and finances or business and missions.
Business and missions.
So normally you hear the terms business and missions or faith and finances.
Yeah.
But today our topic is faith and finances because I believe that those two things
Faith
can go
in finances.
Yeah, that is good. Instead of faith and finances, you
It's
like faith
in
in finances.
not and finances. It's gonna be in finances.
Yeah,
It's a small little word, but it makes a huge difference
yeah.
because
It
we
does.
believe, as you said. You're gonna continue.
No, we believe that faith gives the context to everything that we do.
Yeah.
Mostly. And a lot of the times we are controlled by finances instead of by faith.
Yeah.
So mostly we don't do stuff because we feel like we don't have the money or the finances. Like we don't even take steps.
Yeah.
But we should be led by faith. Like our faith leads us, and then we operate in that faith in everything that we do, whether
Yeah.
it's in parenting, in
Yeah.
marriage,
Yeah.
in finances.
Sure.
And we want to come from that perspective because we know that when faith is in we're not really trusted in our finances.
But
It's-
when the finances are in faith,
Yeah. Because when you
Maybe-
say faith in finances, it's almost like, oh, trust in your
yes. Actually, it
but
should be finances in faith.
in faith. Guys, what do you think? What do you think the title
I
should
don't
be?
know.
Because I just feel like it's faith and, not faith or. So you have faith and finances.
Faith versus finances.
Versus is not versus. They have to work together, babe.
Faith.
So we see
good
that when faith is not
part.
mixed with our finances
Yes.
or with our financial decisions,
Yeah.
there could be worry, doubt, fear,
Stress,
greed.
anxieties, depression,
Oh,
frustration.
You can just keep going. A lot of stuff that can come.
Ah,
And we know that friendships, relationships, marriages, different stuff have been broken apart because
of
of finances.
Yeah.
Because of just the wrong foundation when it came to finances, or maybe not so much communication
Mm.
in that area, or lack of trust, broken trust,
Mm.
or just a lack of it in general, not having it.
Yeah.
Somehow can lead you to this place
Yeah.
of feeling less of yourself, although your value is not really based on your finances. But we live in a world where a lot of the things that we see are categorized based on
Yeah.
financial scales.
What we have.
Yeah, your net worth,
Yeah.
your value mostly is attached to
Your numbers.
mostly like even your success is
Yeah.
tied to how much money people think you have or you have.
Not just that, how many people know you, how many subscribers you have, how many listeners you have, how
Mhm.
many employees you have. Like it's tied to a lot of these things. But
Yeah.
the problem is, like, we don't believe that finances is something bad. We believe that, or let's say money is not something bad. We believe that money is, in a way, it's something that you can use to get where you want to go. Okay. So here's the thing: we don't want to be led by money and controlled by money. We want to be led by faith and controlled by faith. So, but what I mean, we talked about this famous preacher, the other day, who was in different countries in Africa. What was his name?
You mean the evangelist?
Yeah, the evangelist.
The name is, I think it's Reinhard
Bonke.
Yeah.
Reinhard Bonke said it once, and he was saying, God does not have an issue with you having a Porsche or a Lamborghini as a car. He has an issue if the Lamborghini has you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So God he doesn't care if you have a lot of money or not. But if you are controlled by the money and led by the money, it's going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no blessing upon it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if we noticed in our lives that when we had the little that we had and we gave it away for God, and he was like, hey, give it away. And it was a huge amount of money that we gave away to somebody, because we both felt like God is just telling us, give that part away, even if you feel like you could use it for something else. And we definitely would have needed it for something else. But God was like, no, you're going to give it away. We took it away, gave it to them. And like, that's the thing. Like, we have money coming and going, but we shouldn't be controlled by it because we have less or we have more. We should be controlled by faith. And if we don't listen to God's voice telling us, okay, hey, pour a seed in there. Hey, do this. Hey, invest into this. Or hey, help that person out. And don't think that you need that money back. Just give it to them. Because now we have a culture nowadays where we're like, oh yeah, we're going to lend you money. The bank lends you money. The bank gives you money, you know. But of course, you need to pay it back. And so now we get into that culture where we do the same thing, where we're like borrowing money to people instead of just giving it to them and then not even wanting to have it back.
Yeah.
And so God is like, no, this is not my principle. This is not what I want. This is not how intent. This is not your money in the first place. I gave you this money.
Mm-hmm.
It's not your money in the first place.
That's very important to know in that sense, because if you think that it belongs to you, then you're grieved when you don't have it, or you're controlled by it when you do have it, in a sense, because the Bible says that God is the one that gives us the power to make wealth. In other words, we're not even able to generate wealth without God's help in that sense. And we also know as Christians that we are stewards of what we are given.
Yeah.
And when you are a steward of something and the owner requests for that thing, you give it back gladly.
Yeah.
You only grieve if you thought that it belonged to you in the first place.
Yeah.
And there's a saying that money is a very wonderful servant, but a terrible master.
Yeah, it is.
Money can be a wonderful tool.
Yeah.
But once it takes control, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Money can be used to bring happiness into people's lives. But money is not the root of happiness.
No.
If your hope is in money and your goal is that when I have so and so much money, I will be happy, good luck.
Yeah.
Because the more money you get, the more you want to get. And it's difficult. The reason why we say faith and finances is because in faith, you find contentment with whatever amount you have. It doesn't mean that you settle for just anything. It means that you're okay where you are while aspiring to get to the next level. That money is never your goal. Because if money is your goal, at some point, what you will find that a lot of rich people have found out is emptiness, loneliness, depression. Because if money is your goal, then you will do whatever it takes to get it. You will climb on people, you will oppress people, you will take any step, you will do things legal and illegal just to get to where you want to go.
Yeah.
If money is your goal, now we have, a Bible verse that says that the love of money is the root of all evil. But a lot of people have twisted that scripture to mean that money is the root of all evil.
Yeah.
It is a love of it. Like, money was never meant to be loved.
Yes. It was meant to be used by God, but not to be loved.
Money
you shouldn't
was never
be craving it all the time. You shouldn't be craving that you have money and that you can spend the money. You should not be moved by it.
So you love God and you use money.
Yeah.
A lot of people love money
And use God.
and they use God.
Woo! That's the Say it again. Say it again. Say it again, please.
So you love God and you use money. But sadly today, a lot of us, we love money and we use God. How do we use God? We only use God when we feel we need him.
Yeah. God, give me this. God,
Yeah.
do that.
We use God as an
please, why you not listening to
ATM
me?
machine. You
Yeah.
just come like, hey, I want this and I want this. So whenever you feel you're good, you stop talking to God.
Yeah, because you have the money.
You have money. Oh, money answers it. Like,
Yeah.
why do I need God? And that's the problem. A lot of the countries that feel like they have a lot of money feel like they need God less.
Yeah.
Why a lot of the countries that are called second, third world that are poor in the sense of cash,
Yeah.
because they never poor in resources.
No.
It's just that they are bad in management, but they are poor
In cash.
in cash,
Which is,
which doesn't really have that much value.
yeah. Well, I'm like, where does that come from anyways? Where does money come from? Where's the idea of money come from? And like all that kind of stuff. Like it is so evil in itself. Money in itself like was created to bring value to things, although it had already its own value. Back in the days, you would switch. You would, say, hey, I have a carrot, you have an apple. Can we switch? Or can I have the apple, you get my carrot? And so you would trade each other resources. There was no need for money. But now there were people that had maybe a lot of resources and they were like, yeah, but I want to create a value to it because I want to have more than that. I mean, it was back in the days, it was maybe even gold or diamonds that they would have. The more gold and diamonds you would have, the more richer you would be. But you were rich in gold and diamonds, but not in resources.
Yeah.
So who defines what is rich?
Oh, that's a different
And
whole
who's
topic
poor,
for another.
you know?
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of research that goes into the West deciding or placing value on paper over resources. You know why? Because they don't have much of resources.
No.
So they had to create another value system that would make them superior to others, which is another thing. Because if money was based on resources, then the African currency should not be devalued.
No.
But it's not. That's a whole different topic.
It's
whole different political agenda.
It's a political agenda that we would need to talk about and stress about. But
because before, money or wealth was measured against resources. Yeah. But that wouldn't work very well for the West.
No.
Because a lot of the precious stones, the gold, the oil, a lot of this stuff are either in Arabic countries or in African countries, and that will go against the whole world economic system in that sense. Yeah. But let's come back to the topic of faith and finances.
But what I wanted to say with that is that when you know already that, coming from that background, you know that it does not have as much value. And if you know that money does not have as much value and you shouldn't put your trust in it, you get to see it from another perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And you then put your trust in God, hopefully more in God and not in something else.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're not depending more on the money because everything has to be put in perspective. And sometimes you need the change of perspective to realize what is important to you and what is not. As well, when somebody's in a deathbed and it's like, hey, and now that I'm close to my death, I realize, because I put things into perspective, I realize that I put way much more time and effort in money rather than in my family.
Very true.
And so that's where I'm trying to come through, why I was like bringing that topic up, because I wanted to bring that in perspective, that resources sometimes have way more value than money in itself. And understanding that political part maybe as well um, gives you a perspective of what you should love and what not,
Mm-hmm.
and what you should follow and what not.
Very correct. We live in the culture of paper chasing. It's quite common. Well,
Yeah.
let's just go get that paper, chase that paper, go get that paper, chase that paper.
Yeah.
And a lot of even rap songs are based on chasing the cheddar,
Yeah.
chasing the paper, you know.
Chasing the cheddar.
Yeah.
The cheddar cheese, please.
Different terms used for money and stuff. And people are chasing paper instead of chasing purpose.
Yeah, it's true.
So much value has been placed on paper. People would use their whole life to chase paper.
By paper, we mean material things.
Yeah, to chase it. And then, let's say they fall ill or something very drastic happens in their lives, and they have to use that paper to fix the problems that they caused in the process of chasing the paper.
Yeah.
And people are led by paper and not purpose. And that is the difference between when faith is mixed with finances and when it is not.
Yeah.
Because when you're faith-based, money is very, very important in the world that we live in, because you need money to buy resources, to buy houses, to buy tools, to actually help people that are in need. Like money is very important, but not more important than faith, not more important than your purpose.
Yeah.
Because money is the thing that you will not go with once you close your eyes in death. Whatever money you had in your account, it'll be for somebody else when you die. There is something that you will account for when you get on the other side.
Yeah.
Your faith, your purpose. Did you accomplish that? Now, if you don't believe in life after death, this makes no sense to you.
Of course not. Yeah.
Because for you, all you have is what you have right now. So, of course, go chase paper. Do whatever you need to do. But as Christians, we say faith and finances if you have faith in God. If you don't have faith in God, your message is, we're inviting you to believe in Jesus because he loves you, because God loves you, and he sent his son to die for your sins so he can have a connection with you. Once you have that, then we can talk about faith and finances.
Can you see how engaging my husband is? He's like moving this table, this whole bed is moving because it goes through his whole body. He's
I'm
like
passionate
so
about this stuff.
passionate about this. I mean, it's also your, in the sense that your life a little bit in a way, because one of the visions that I got when I before I married you and when I was praying for you, it was that you will be a blessing not just to my family or our families, but to other families around us and more families to come. And so I believe that God is trying to lead you, help me to help you, to lead us to a place of financial independence, but also in a place where we are not depending on money, but we trust in God, which we are already doing in a lot of ways. Like every step that we've been taking so far, or every major thing, was because we were obedient and we're like, okay, we are fed up of being led by finances or controlled by finances
or status.
Or status. Because guess what, guys? We live in this caravan, but we have our own company. We have our own company. We are living in this caravan. And sometimes when you talk to people, friends, I mean, people, not clients, you wouldn't tell that to clients in a sense, because in a way we're like,
really care.
Yeah, they don't really care in a sense.
No.
But like if friends of us like ask us, wait, you guys are staying in the caravan even though the winter season? And I'm like, yeah, like it's okay. It's actually not that bad. It just sounds bad because you're not used to it. It's like the other day I was listening to somebody. I was talking about, she's from Uganda, and she was talking about that somebody was complaining about she living in a hut. And she's like, why would I not live in a hut when it has its own circulation? I don't need a fridge because it gets cool at night because how it was built. I have the whole natural resources to build this thing. I don't need to live in a house that costs me huge amount of money when I can have something like that, as simple as this. And this is where we come, like where I want to come from is like we are going back to its root of living simple in a way. Don't get me wrong, I miss living in a house, okay? I do sometimes miss living in a house, but living here helps us to cut away from this need of constantly wanting to have more, um being led by money or finances, by constantly feeling like you don't have enough. You need to have it bigger. You can't use what you have. When God is just saying, use what you have. I want to take you out of this place. I want to take you out of this culture of constantly wanting to have more to get you to a place where you have a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Where at some point you have so much that you can just give houses away to people.
Mm-hmm.
Because now when you have a lot, you can even continue living in the caravan basically. With little. Because you got used to that. And you're not depending on that. You're not depending on whether you have finances or not, because you're depending on me.
Mm.
You're depending on God. You're depending on depending on Him.
That's correct.
And you're not moved by the finances.
Mm-hmm. For those of you that are not aware, I mean, like she just mentioned, we're in a caravan right now. We started traveling with a caravan and then we stayed in it. We didn't go back to like the normal apartment house and living. But that was also a financial decision because I quit my job so we can start our company.
Yeah.
And by God's grace, the company is moving. You know, we have clients and we thank God for that. But we also wanted to reduce our cost in a sense. But in a way, we also felt like we had a lot of stuff, and we in the past few years, we had been acquiring a lot of stuff that we did not really need, that just brought stress, depression, the needs to always want to look a certain way or to meet a certain standard, status. You can't really build like true financial foundations or have that freedom if you're always looking for status.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times people that have the Gucci bag and the nice stuff, they're not really rich. They are trying to show that they are rich. They're mostly in debt.
Yeah.
Because the people that really have the money, their money is in something else. Especially in Germany, you hardly know who's rich just by looking at them.
No, you will not see it.
In Nigeria, you will know. If not, they will tell you, do you know who I am? They will announce it. You know, but the people that really have the money in Germany, you hardly can tell.
No.
You can be having coffee with them in their shorts, and maybe they have one thing that looks expensive, maybe a wristwatch or like maybe the perfume. You can sense, okay, like those are love cars. When they pull up in Germany, you will know, okay.
Yeah.
But they're not trying to impress you or show you stuff. Mostly the people who try to live up to a certain standard are people that want to give the illusion of wealth or finances. So for us, we felt like we wanted to be in a place where we didn't have to care about what people think.
Yeah.
Whether you think we have money or not, it's not really the goal.
No.
We want to live in faith and finances. Does it mean that having a big house is bad? Absolutely not.
No.
We have a friend, Onu.
Yes.
His house is great, big. We'd love to be there.
Yes.
Enjoy the whole space. And one day we will have something like that.
Yes.
You know, but that is not the goal.
Yeah.
Our purpose is the goal.
Yeah.
We can live out our purpose in a caravan.
Yeah.
We can live out our purpose in an African country, in a tent, in a big house, in a car, and still be happy and content.
Yeah.
Although we aspire for greater things, money is not the goal.
No, it's not.
If money is your goal, it is difficult to mix it up with faith. But if faith is what leads you, if purpose is what leads you, whenever you feel like you don't have enough of money or resources, you go to God and like, God, I don't have the money I need for this to accomplish this purpose. You gave me the purpose.
Yeah.
You will give me the money.
Yeah.
You gave me this vision,
Yeah.
this desire,
Yeah.
this passion.
Yeah.
You will provide
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, money stops being your source.
Yes.
God is.
Yeah.
And money is just a resource.
Yeah. It's true.
Because we learned that money comes and goes.
Oh.
Oof.
And he gets so worried about it, especially when you have your own company. And adding to it, you have your kids, you have 2 little beautiful kids, and you have some kind of standards that you just
Mhm.
feel like you want to keep up to, but they don't really matter in that sense, but you still have them. And so, like, you get worried so much and
Correct.
so fast for every single little thing.
Correct.
And if you here's the thing, if you're led by the money, you get worried. But if you know,
Mhm,
okay, you
mhm.
can pray about it
Mhm.
and you can go to God and say, God, everything that I have, everything that I am
Mhm.
is because of you.
Correct.
And I have because of you.
Mhm.
And the money is because of you.
True.
So use me and open up doors, because there are things that I cannot see, things that I cannot know,
Mhm.
but you know them.
Very correct.
And most of the times when we prayed those prayers, things started to shift
Yeah.
and things started
First
to
in our
open
hearts,
in our hearts.
and then crazy doors began to open.
Yes. People would contact us.
Mhm.
They would write us. We would get opportunities, and like different things would happen. And so you can say and argue about, is it really God or is it not God, whatever, but we believe this is
Mhm.
God. This is God doing, and God is providing for us in that
Mhm.
sense. And so, yeah, we are in this whole journey of setting ourselves free from all this money bondage,
Yes.
finance bondage, cultural bondages
Mhm.
that we grew up with.
Mhm.
And actually, we didn't even really grow up with it,
Not really. I mean,
because we both
depends.
were not really, like, in my sense, we did not have a lot of money.
No, we didn't grow up rich. No.
But still, because of that, when you did not grow, oftentimes when you don't grow up with a lot of money,
When you have money.
when you have money, you want to spend the money, you want to be moved by the money,
Yeah.
and you try to grasp onto the money.
Mhm.
And so somehow there's this shift in focus.
Yeah. There's an example that I wanted to give. Because also sometimes we confuse the fact that, oh, because I have faith, I'm gonna be financially stable. Oh no. You can be a faith-filled person, Christian, fasting and praying, tongue speaking,
Yeah.
Christian, and still be broke.
Yeah.
Because you fail to apply financial principles.
Yeah.
God has set laws and principles in place.
Yeah.
The one who eats their seed will starve in the future.
Yeah.
And by seed, I mean investment. He that fails to invest and just consumes everything that they get will live in hunger in the future. So there are principles, whatever you sow, you reap. And one thing that I had to shake in my life was because I love cars. I love, just having the nice things, and that's not bad in itself.
You very Nigerian in
Yeah.
that sense.
But the process of getting that, of getting there, was what I was getting wrong.
Yeah.
And so when I felt like, or when we felt like we had to take the next step into starting our own company,
Yeah.
it was a very fearful step for me, because it was like a huge step towards financial freedom or financial death. Because back then,
Yeah.
I mean, good job, good pay, company car, like it felt financially secure, but it was not.
No.
In a sense, because of course the government heavily taxes consumption.
Yeah.
And gives benefits to investments. And as a employee, you're consuming. But your employer that employs you is investing.
Yeah.
So even the company that employs you pays way less taxes than you, the employer.
Yeah.
So even that concept works with the government, where the one who sows the seed is given more benefit than the one who consumes their seed.
Yeah.
It's crazy, you know. So starting our own company, we were like, okay, how would that look like? And after I gave up the car, we were without a car.
Yeah.
With 2 kids, you know, being used to
Like
driving everywhere
2
with the
weeks
car.
or something?
Yeah.
Or 3?
But that was
For
funny.
him, it
funny.
was
Yeah,
such a big deal. He was,
it was
like,
a big deal.
he was like, I don't want to drive. I don't want to ride a bus or a train or anything. And we were like quite centered. Like for us, getting a train is not far. Like even all the shops is not far away.
But we need to give the reason why. Because when I was in the UK, I was fine with taking the train, taking the bus.
It's a
In Germany,
cultural thing.
In Germany, and I think a lot of Africans living in Germany can testify to this. There is a perception about Africans in Germany, and there is this status attached to them. A lot of them are seen as refugees, although they could be doctors, students, whatever they are. But because of the influx of refugees, there's this image of Africans in Germany, which does not exist in the UK.
But you would also not take a bus or a train in Nigeria.
Let me explain. Because we took, what are you talking about? Nigeria. Did you have a choice? You will cramp up in the bus and enjoy the odor and the sweat and everything. Did you have a choice, my friend? Driving a car is like, we started doing that very often when we traveled, you know.
Okay.
But that's like quite normal to just get into a taxi or get into a Bolt or an Uber.
Because we hardly did that.
Or a bus. We hardly did that because, of course, I had my wife and my kids and I didn't want to be dependent on public transport to move around. It wasn't because of
not
class.
Not even tuk-tuk. I wanted to go on a tuk-tuk.
She wanted to enter Kekena Pep. Like, I don't know. Like, next time when we go, we're gonna try the different experiences. I don't really mind them. It's just that it's not very convenient. It wasn't because of class or status. It wasn't very convenient.
Yeah.
But once you've been in Germany for a while, this has a way of affecting you.
Yeah, it is.
Where you feel like, I don't want to be in that bus or in that train because there's a perception they have of you when they see you there. Meanwhile, in the States, I would freely take a train or a bus because I didn't feel like people would see me as a beggar or a refugee or someone that was in need. Yeah. And it was way cleaner. Everything was just nicer in that sense for me. So I had this status problem, which I never had until I came to Germany.
Yeah. True. It's true. Now that I think about it, it's actually...
I never really had that issue until I came to Germany. Where you feel like as a black person, you have to prove yourself.
Yeah.
You have to show that you're different. And what happened is last year, this year, something had to break. And what happens is that when it comes to finances, if you have a fear of man or the desire to please man, you're headed for destruction.
Yeah.
You're headed for debt, for pain, because you can never please anybody.
No.
Whatever they think about you, they will still think about you that same way, no matter what you get.
Yeah.
And so for me, when we wanted to start our company,
I feel it said stop. Stop moving.
We're just checking that it's still recording. Let's see. It's still recording.
Are you sure?
Yes, the number is still moving on the bottom.
Okay.
Yes. So guys, we're still recording. Just checking.
Sorry.
Yeah. So for me, we didn't have a car for that period of time. And we could have used the money that we had to buy a car.
Yeah.
And something came to me, I was like, I just felt like you want to use the money that you have right now to invest in something that would lose its value immediately you drive out of the lot. Instead of investing in something that could give you more value.
Yeah. And
that was when we began to think, what could we invest in that would bring us value, and we will still be able to get what we wanted to get.
Yeah.
And that was when the idea came. Use the money as capital for your company. Because in Germany, you need a capital about 25,000 to start 25,000 euros to start a GmbH,
Yeah.
which is like the equivalent to like a LLC or PLC.
Mm.
But the amount of money needed to start that in Germany is way higher
Than it
than
is in the States.
in most other countries, even higher than Switzerland.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, it's true. We read it into it.
Yeah.
It's like 10,000 just there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that meant that I had to wait with my desire to have a car,
Yeah.
because the whole process of, starting the company would take a couple of weeks
Yeah.
before it was ready and before the capital could be used for anything else. And so during that period, I had to take the train and the bus. And guess what?
But it wasn't even long. It was
No.
just 2 weeks.
But guess what? For you, it wasn't long
Mm.
because you don't really care. That doesn't matter. For me, it meant a lot to me. Like, it was a lot to me.
Oh, wow.
There was a change that had to happen for that short period of time.
Wow. Okay.
And for the first time, I sat in a bus, in a train, after a couple of years, and I felt no need to impress anybody.
Mm.
I didn't care about what I was wearing. I didn't care about how I looked. I was so content. I was like, why aren't you driving in the car right now? I'm like, because I invested in my company.
Mm.
And nobody has to know that. I'm investing in my financial freedom for the future, for myself, but also for my kids.
Yeah.
Because these are things that will bring results for our children and their children.
The grace of God, yes.
By God's grace.
Yeah.
So something had to break. So after we started the company, we were able to buy the car through the company, which is like a different level now, because there are a lot of benefits to having things through the company that we wouldn't have if we had it personally.
Yeah.
But that is a mentality or a principal concept that had to change in us, where you go from just being a consumer to an investor.
Yeah. Do I really need it? Is it really necessary? Do I just want it because of status? Or do I really need it because it's really needed? And I can use it.
I mean, I still got the car that I liked, but this time around, I didn't get it as a consumer.
Yeah.
I got it with so much more benefits through the company as an investment. So the company is taking care of that investment. I don't have to worry about taking care of it from my own pocket in that sense. So financial decisions as a Christian is still very important.
It is.
You cannot replace your financial literacy with just faith.
No.
You have to learn
how to be smart and how to be wise with finances. And that's why we read books about finances, even for people that are not Christians, because sometimes those that are not Christians have learned how to deal with finances sometimes better than those that are Christians. And
correct.
And so we believe that, or the journey that we are on right now, is to really blend those things together and just make this beautiful thing out of it, where we trust God and we give away the money, to people, and God's just telling us, do this, do that, and we do it by being obedient. But then also being smart in how we invest, being smart in how we handle money, being smart in our decisions. And we're still in the journey. We did a lot of mistakes. I mean, everybody does. And that's good. We need to talk about this, that it's good to make mistakes, because out of mistakes, you learn. And we learn. And so we're in this really crazy process where we're really learning not to be led by money and stressed out by money.
And funny, we are more at peace now.
We are.
Than.
I mean, sometimes here and there we still get a little stressed out.
I don't think that ever goes away.
No. You'll have to handle and manage and really learn not to be stressed.
And being self-employed or having a company, that's a whole different new level of stress that if you do not trust God, you can also fall into the same pit of chasing paper, chasing clients, chasing money.
You get sick. You will literally get sick in your body, because it's a lot of responsibilities and it's a lot to carry. And if you don't let it be carried by God.
And yesterday we're talking to your brother.
Yes.
Remember what he said?
I wasn't really listening to
Yeah,
much.
because yeah, he's talking to his brother. His name is Nicholas. Actually, he's a chef.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for a private chef,
El Casa Chef in
looking
Lörrach.
for you're looking for a private chef around Lörrach or in Germany in general, because he can travel.
Yeah.
Or even outside of Germany,
Switzerland.
anywhere. Just check out El Casa, which means
Home
your
at home. Your home chef.
your home chef. El Casa Chef. If you check it out on Google, he'll pop up. You can
Yeah.
book him for he's a very good cook. He was the best in his class, just so you know.
Yes.
And it's hard to be the best in your class in Germany. Germany is very strict.
He employed his.
He employed
He employed his teacher, or how do you call it, the one that
taught him
taught him
during his apprenticeship.
Yeah, in one area.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, he's good. Just check him out whenever you're interested in quality private
Dining.
in that stuff. Private dining. Yeah.
Private dining.
So
yeah.
yesterday we're talking to him, and he was talking about the whole process of having his own company, because he is someone that I really admire. He never really worked for anybody after he was done with his training or studying. He went straight into being self-employed in that sense, and it was tough. And now he's in a different phase of toughness.
Yeah.
And one thing he discovered in the whole process was that he had to learn to trust God.
Yeah.
Because he was seeing just a lot of money just leaving, because you have a lot of expenses in the beginning of your company, and sometimes you don't even have enough income, but you have a lot of expenses in that sense. And he was quite worried for a while, and it affected his mood, his passion, and everything, until he came to a point when he was like, God, I can't do this. I'm not enough. That topic, I am not enough. I need you. So help me, because you gave me this company, you gave me this vision. So I trust that you will not leave me stranded. You will help me. That is faith and finances. It doesn't stop once you think you've become rich. You will always need faith in every level of your financial journey. Because the goal is not really the money.
It's not.
The goal is your purpose. And to accomplish purpose, you will always need God.
Yes.
In that sense.
So I guess that was a topic.
Faith and finances.
It's going to be called Faith and Finances. Okay. Well, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, share it with other people. We really love and appreciate every comment. There was one person that commented on our last episode, was like, nice, I love to see 1 million views.
Yes.
Hello, you. Thank you so much.
Guys, you can support us. You can share this video to different people, and that'll be your way of supporting us.
Yeah.
So we can grow this channel, because this content is valuable content.
Yeah.
And you can't just watch and not subscribe, or just watch and then keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
We share a lot of stuff that, like cat videos or whatever, that don't really bring much value.
Yeah.
But when it comes to content that brings value, we just watch and ignore.
Yeah.
So please share, comment, ask questions if you have questions.
Yes.
Or contribute.
We also on podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and you can leave reviews there too, on Spotify too. So just leave reviews, and if you want to follow us on daily things, we also have our Ebony and Ruth Instagram. So yeah, we love to see you guys soon.
Yep.
And hear from you. And until then, I'm gonna say bye.
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 See you in the next episode.